All right, good afternoon. I believe I'm taping. I believe the microphone is on. I'll double check it in a little bit. But today is Friday, the 29th of September, and I sent an email out. Unfortunately, it was later than I thought it would be today, and I apologize for that. But I sent you an email, and the email had a zip folder in it. We're going to look at all the contents of that folder in a minute. The first thing is a copy of your test. Your test is due on Wednesday of next week, so I want to give you plenty of time to work on it. I would strongly suggest you take a look at the example that we went through as a class, that being the guitar shop example, and use that as kind of a template as you get going. All right, but to quickly look as far as what is in that thing that I sent you. All right, well, there's the test, which we're going to go over in a moment. You've got um, a folder with the 40 images in it. Okay, and I'm not going to peruse through all of them, but you can just see them in here. So these are all of the different images. I guess I will peruse through all of them. All right, that we're using for the bike shop. All right. And in addition to that, you have all 5 of the model files. So you've got the model file for product, for category, for customer, for employee, and for vendor. If I quickly bring those up, all right, and take them from the top here. All right, well, it looks like they didn't all open, but that's okay. We'll get it. All right, well, then let's just start by opening up the product file. Now, originally in this product file, you had in here 5 or 6 products. There are now going to be 40. I didn't change anything, I don't believe, except here I added the validate never for the category field and the validate never, all right, for both of these. Okay. I'm going to give you a quick little hint right now, and that is look at your slug file. You're going to have to change that from what I've got right here. All right. So that's the first thing, is the product file. All right. Next, we have the category file. This is the same. This right here on your screen has not been changed a bit. All right. Next, we have a customer file. And what you're going to notice is with what's left, we've got customers, we've got employees, and we've got vendors. And they're all basically set up the same way. And what I mean by that is each one has a first name, a last name. I should say, let me say that again. Customers and employees each have a first name, a last name, an address, a city, a state, a zip code, and a phone number. Now, for a vendor, they don't have a first name and a last name. They just have a name, an address, a city, a state, a zip, a phone number. And I also added in, as I believe it's not even a required field, an email address. All right. In addition, what I decided to do, and I mentioned this to you the other day, and that is I've given you the bike shop context file. And if you take a look at it, you will notice it literally is 966 lines long. All right. I'm expecting that you're going to call it bike shop context like we had previously, but everything is in here. So let's take a look at the test. All right. All right. Complete the following test and turn it in by midnight Wednesday. Use, your books, your notes, etc. Must be your original work. Code must be committed, pushed to your GitHub repo by next week, Wednesday at midnight to receive credit. Again, take nothing for granted. If there are questions that you have, feel free to ask. Okay. For this test, as it says, you will continue working with the bike shop database application. I would strongly suggest you create a new bike shop folder with a new bike shop project and solution in it. As mentioned there, you can use the guitar shop code in your text as templates for different things that you're going to do. Now, I've already gone over these. So again, products has been updated. It now has 40 products. Categories, I flipped accessories and wheels back to the way they were originally. We added a new customers table with 27 customers in it. We added a new employees table with 8 employees in it. We added a new vendors table with 10 vendors in it. All right. And what I did when I started up, and let me just show you, is I went in, let me bring the project up. So I went in, and the first thing that I did, I set everything up the way that we always want it to be set up, etc. Let me close this stuff. All right. So I went in when we started, and I went into View, and then SQL Server Object Explorer right here. And I took the original Bike Shop DB database, which is in here. Come on, open up, would you please? There you go. And I removed it by just right mouse clicking on it and choosing delete. Then I went over, and in those files that I just showed you, all right, I added everything in there. I added everything in there in the models folder and the bike shop context file. All right, so in my models folder, as you can see, there is the bike shop context, category.cs, customer.cs, employee.cs, product.cs, and vendor.cs. After I went and did all that stuff, then I went back and did another update database. Did another add migration followed by an update database. And as you can see in here, that's what you're supposed to do as well. Now, if you look on here, and I want you to see this, some of you last time, I know yours worked, but you didn't do what you were asked. In other words, you didn't provide screenshots. If you don't provide screenshots this time of your update database and that it succeeded, and of course your add migration and that it succeeded, you won't get those 10 points. 5 points, I should say. All right. So this should say to get the 5 points. When I first did it, I had more than 100 points, more than 100 points, so I had to adjust the points accordingly. So when you run the program, when you run it, it should look like what you're about to see. So it should look something like this. All right, making it even bigger so you can see everything. Okay. So notice I've got the bike shop, I've got a home, a products, an about, and an admin, and I'm at home right now. If I either click products or I click view our products, both of them are going to now highlight products, and you can see how this is set up. I made the text too big in here. I was playing with it before. All right. But we've got all accessories, bikes, clothing components, car racks, and wheels. All right. If all is chosen, it should show you all 40 products rather. They're all in here. If you choose accessories, it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 accessories. Bikes, we've got 4. Clothing, we've got 3. Components, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. Car racks, we've got 2, and wheels, we've got 4. If you add up all of those, they equal 40. All right. In addition, you'll notice that, for example, if I go here, I've got a view details and I've got an add to cart. All right. My add to cart isn't perfect right now, and I even changed the picture that I showed you. But when I click view details, so let's look at this Trek 9000 mountain bike. You can see its price, and when I click view details, okay, this is what I get. Let me make this smaller, so make it closer to 100%. So product details, I want the picture there, the name of the product, the list price, the category, and the description of the product. If you click add to cart, it'll say that it added. I got to fix that. All right, or try to. But it's got everything else in there. Whether I do it from here or if I go back and click it from here. All right, it's still screwed up. All right, when the program first starts running, as mentioned, it should look like this or something similar. You don't have to say bike clothing accessories. Say whatever you want. If you don't want to call it the bike shop, call it something else. Now, this learn more about us, I want you to build an about us page. This is the one I built. All right. And I literally grabbed something off the internet. I typed in the bike shop, and this is what came up. I don't want you to steal mine. I want you to write your own. All right. Put a little bit of text in if you want to put in a bunch of images, fine, whatever you want. Also notice in here that it comes in under localhost / about. In fact, as we've seen this before, if I come in here and I put in home / about, it doesn't work. All right. So jumping back to the test then, as mentioned, screenshots with that. So nothing new right there. Okay. So as it says, update the home page so it looks something like this. I just showed you mine. So that's 5 points, that's 10 points. So we're up to, I'm sorry, 5 points and 15 points. So we're up to 20 points so far. All right. Add a home page, I just showed you mine. That's 15 points. So now we're up to 35. All right, that's the about page, I should say. All right, so 35. Refactor the original product page that you had last time so it looks like this. I showed you this. This is the start of it. In other words, it should default to all. So that's the opening product screen. All right, so far we're at 5, 15 is 20, 15 is 35, 15 is 50. So that's 50 points. All right, then set it up so that if you click on a specific category, you only show the products for that category. I just showed you that with bikes. All right. And again, the products link is still highlighted. So that's 10 points. So that's 60 points. All right. Then set it up so that when you click on view details for any bike, in this case, all right. So if we click on the first one, the Eagle JS3, etc., if we click on that, it comes up and it looks like this. Product details, a picture, the name of the product, the list price of the product with a little label, the category of the product with a little label, and the description of the product with a little label, and the add to cart. All right, so I believe that's 65 points now. All right. set it up again so that when the add to cart comes up, it says, it has been, your product has been added to the cart. As it says, you'll have to modify your slug. I showed you that slug before that was in the products. I'll give you a little hint here. Every product, if you go in and you look in the images folder here, every product, so if I grab this one, for example, it is Aeroflow underscore ATB underscore wheels.jpg. All right. I used underscores instead of blank letters in there. So keep that in mind when you go in and you're fidgeting or playing with or updating or fixing your slug. That's 5 more points. So I think that's 70. All right. I want you to refactor this. I want you to try to take that that admin that's right here and put it over on the end, on the right side. So that's 5 points. That's 80 points. Finally, I want you to create an area called admin. And I show you in the picture below exactly how it should be set up. You don't have to put anything in any file. So make a folder called areas. Right mouse click on it, set up an area called admin. In admin, you should have a controllers folder with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 controllers in it. All right. A category controller, an employee controller, a product controller, and a vendor controller. It seems to me like I'm missing one even. I don't remember what it is right now. Oh, there should also be a customer controller in here. That's my fault. If you don't put it in, I'm not going to take off. We're not doing anything with this one anyway. Just want to make sure you can set up the structure. So you should add a customer controller in there. All right. If you want to, you can keep the data and model folders, or you can get rid of them. That's what I did. But in the views folder, notice I added category, customer, employee, product, boy, oh boy, and vendor. And each one of those is going to have an add update, or if you want, call it an add edit like we did before. It doesn't matter. A delete in a list. So eventually this is going to allow us to run our CRUD operations on category, our CRUD operations on customer, our CRUD operations on employee, our CRUD operations on product, and our CRUD operations on vendor. In addition, under home, you should have an index.cshtml. Under shared, you should have an underscore admin layout.cshtml. And under views, you should have an underscore view imports.cshtml and an underscore view start.cshtml. All right, so if we try to add all these up, 5, 10 is 15, and 5 is 20, and 5 is 25, and 15 is 40, and 10 is 50, and 15 is 65, and 15 is 80, and 15 is 95, and 5 is 100. That is everything. You will have the rest of the period today to work on this. You will have all period Monday to work on this. My plan right now is on Tuesday to lecture on chapter 8. All right, probably the way we'll set it up, probably, is on Tuesday. I'll do that lecture. We'll see where we are time-wise. All right, for chapter 8, for our projects, we have build the trips log app. We're probably going to build that one and probably do it together. For the case study, you've got an 8.1 and an 8.2. use temp data to display messages, use a view model with the incidents manager. All right. We may or may not get into chapter 9 next week. I don't know. All right. 8 and 9, they're very they're not similar, but the information runs into each other, for lack of better words. That's all I've got. If you have any questions whatsoever, please get a hold of me. I'll be around most of the weekend. I will be going to my granddaughter's soccer game between about 11:45 and 1:45 on Saturday. Most of the rest of the weekend, most of it, I will be home. I told you that I have to leave at 3 today and be gone from about 3 to 4:30 or so that I can they're doing their final look-see at me after I had my nasal surgery. All right. Way more than you need to know about me. So have a good weekend. I hope you all do well on this. And I hope if you have questions, you'll let me know. Thanks.